ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Starcastic Remarks. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of the Hockey Podcast Network. Thank you to our sponsors, DraftKings, tonight. Remember to use the promo code THPN every time you go to DraftKings to get a special little goodie. Tonight, the Stars lose to one of the worst teams in the league, San Jose Sharks. Final score of 5-4. Boy, that game was exciting. It sucks to lose it. Special guest tonight, joined by our younger brother, Cooper Chambers. Hello, Cooper. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, and I'm very special. So
Cooper is very special. He's the blonde hair, blue eyed Chambers. He's the only one. So y'all are lucky to see him. But James and Ryan are out tonight, so it'll just be us two today, and we'll see what we can get out of Cooper.
All right. Wow, Cooper. That was a little harsh.
All right, Cooper, what was your initial thoughts from this game? What do you think the big thing was?
It was really sloppy, and the Sharks kind of played their game the whole time. They were knocking us down, slowing us down, and just turnovers.
Oh, yeah. Definitely agree with that. That was a huge thing I saw, too. The turnovers were the biggest thing, and it happened. Almost all 5 of the Sharks' goals were off of turnovers, and they were really bad ones, all by our defensemen. Our defense really lost us this game, in my opinion. But let's just get right into the game. Starting off the first period, first 5 minutes of the first period, Stars looked very good. Pretty much all downhill, capped off by Jamie Benn scoring just a great wrist shot, just like the one we saw the other night, like you mentioned on the text channel. Cooper, what did you think about that shot?
That was awesome. I love to see that because first Stars hockey I saw was really Benn and Seguin, and they're doing way better this year. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. Love seeing Jamie Benn, especially leaning on that wrister. When he won the Art Ross, he was sniping those wristers in the top right corner. I remember him in the Super Skills competition. He almost won the shooting drill in the Super Skills competition. So love seeing him take that shot. After that, though, pretty much a really bad Stars turnover turns into Alexander Barabanov. Sorry. Barkov just looks like it's got to be it. Barabanov's first goal of the game. Sharks score there on the power play. Tough penalty by Hintz there. What'd you think about it, Cooper?
It was lame.
It was lame. I agree. That was a lame goal. Lame penalty too. I don't think that one should have been called. But following that, Evgeny Svechnikov gets the Sharks' second goal of the game. At this point, it's all Sharks. The whole first period after the Benn goal, Sharks have been downhill the entire way. Lots of pressure from them. Is that what you saw too, Cooper?
Yes, it was not fun to watch the first and second. Really, they controlled pretty much the whole first period. It was Sharks versus Benn until the third.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Benn, the dying embers of the first period after the Stars get slaughtered pretty much. Jamie Benn scores 1939. Pretty much the exact same shot. I mean,
it's the same shot.
He goes top right corner, off the rush. A great goal by Jamie Benn. So far, the first period, Jamie Benn's really the only player who's playing really well. Beyond that, the Stars played a little bit better at the end of the first period. Still nowhere near where it needs to be playing against the Sharks on the second night of a back-to-back. What was your overall impression of the first period, Cooper?
We look like the ones coming from a back-to-back there.
Exactly.
And also, it's good to see Ottinger back. Glad he's not hurt anymore, but he was slow, especially I think on the second goal they had. Normally he gets those, just wasn't there today.
Absolutely. Yeah, slow is definitely the word I would use the entire way. The Sharks forecheck looked way better in the first period. They were all over us. We couldn't pass out of our own zone. Ottinger definitely looked slow. It did not look like he was back to 100%, which is kind of shocking given all the media coverage that he had tonight, talking about how he wouldn't be playing if he wasn't 100%. But he was not on his game. You could tell something was off for him tonight. The first really bad game from a goaltender, I would say, that we've had this season. So rough night for Ottinger. But that first period, like me and Cooper said, dominated by the Stars. Second period, the Sharks. Thank you, Cooper. It's dominated by the Sharks. Second period, the only thing we're thinking about is Stars need to respond. You know, Sharks are on the second night of back-to-back. They're going to be slow, going to be tired, got to respond. How do we respond?
Very loud response.
Very loud response by the Sharks. 2 goals in the first minute and 5 seconds of the period for the Sharks. One by Timo Meier, one by Logan Couture. And boy, did that take the air out of the building. Both of those off turnovers, both of those terrible defensive plays. One of them, the second goal is by Miro Heiskanen with a terrible giveaway in his own zone. I mean, it felt like every single defenseman on our team made a horrendous mistake at some point in this game. So, what do you think about those 2 goals, Cooper? Honestly, just combine them together.
I'm not sure. Just,
like, feels bad.
Turnovers again. It's the same thing. And also, they've been putting pressure on the forecheck, and we're turning it over every single time we try to exit the zone.
Yeah, and it felt like after the first period, you should have made an adjustment after you felt their strong forecheck. No adjustment was made in the beginning of the second period, at least, because they got 2 straight off the same exact play. Feel like you got to learn from that. Luckily for the Stars, after that, Stars really respond really well. The second period, after the first minute and 5, totally controlled by the Stars. I think the shots on goal were, I don't have it pulled up for that period, but the Stars had something like 19 for 4 in the last 2 periods. So the Sharks had 4 shots on goals. The Stars had 19. And in the second period, they just couldn't score. I mean, that's what you really need in that spot.
We dominated in shots, and we had lots of chances. We just couldn't finish those. Also, Razor mentioned the Sharks definitely looked tired after that back-to-back, starting in the end of the second period.
Yeah. After they took the 2-goal lead, they started to show their slowness, stopped forechecking as hard. That's how the Stars were really starting to go downhill in that second period. But when you have that many chances and when you're down by 2 goals, you need 1 at least. You got to get something to get back into the game. And nobody could put anything in the net. And not only that, it felt like everything was against us. I mean, the second period, terrible luck. Seguin has a great shot, goes right off the post. Ref blows it dead. He says it's a goal. It wasn't.
That was so disappointing.
Everyone in the building knew it wasn't a goal. And what it does when the ref calls goals, it takes away another scoring chance for the Stars. I mean, who's to say that if that play keeps going, we don't score after that? And just really terrible luck. And it felt like stuff like that was happening all night too. So like the puck would be just barely out of our reach for a breakaway. Like we didn't even mention Blumel, but I'll mention him later. Blumel had a great chance at a breakaway, couldn't get the shot lifted. A play like that, we could have put on a ton of pressure in the offensive zone, gets blown dead because they think it's a goal. I mean, just terrible luck like that all night long. So the second period ends with the Stars outshooting the Sharks and outplaying the Sharks by a wide margin. And the Sharks scoring 2 goals on 4 shots in that period. So that hurts. But you go into the second intermission, you think, all right, Stars are going downhill. The Sharks are known. The past 5 games, they've given up so many leads. They've scored a lot of goals, and they've given up a lot of goals as well. You're thinking, the Stars are going to respond. We're going to respond. They're going to score 2 goals. They're going to get back in the game. It's going to be great. The Stars are going to get their first comeback win of the season. 30 seconds in, Thomas Hertl scores a goal. Terrible defense. 3 guys go to the puck. Puck, nice little backhand saucer into the slot. Thomas Hertl scores pretty much no problem. That's how you ice a game when you're down by 2 goals. I mean, that's terrible. I mean, and it happens in the first minute of both periods. You're not ready to play. And I mean, I don't know what you exactly could do about that. This is a situation where I want James and Ryan on the podcast because what do we do about that, Cooper? Do you have an answer?
Well, goaltending honestly is the only other thing I could think of.
Yeah,
really, Oettinger. Normally he's the one saving us there, and that's how we've won a bunch of games this season. He's just there to make a great save, and he's just slow today.
And that's true. So for some of these goals, they're definitely possible to save. I wouldn't blame one specifically on him, but he normally comes up with 1 or 2 of these. And 1 or 2 in this game wins you the game at some point. So Oettinger not being 100% and being off for a couple of games definitely hurt us tonight. He wasn't able to win the game for us, but we also didn't have his back. And that's really what the Stars need to do at some point. We need to have his back, get a win for him. that first goal by Thomas Hurdle doesn't do that. I mean, 1-on-1 in the slot. Good luck saving that. The rest of the third period looks like the rest of the second period did. Downhill by the Stars the whole way. Rope Hintz gets that first goal back. You said in the group chat, like the count. So
that was James.
That was James.
I got the second one.
We were counting them. We got one back. Rope Hintz scores from Robertson, Pavelski, just doing what they do. That first line
off the post too. That was
off the post in it. It was a great shot. But that first line just doing what they do. They get down in the forecheck, make little passes that they need to get open. Great shot by Rope Hintz to bury it. 6 minutes go by with crazy pressure the entire time. It takes 6 full minutes before Joe Pavelski is able to score again. This one off of a rebound, a huge rebound. Another great goal by Joe Pavelski. That first line gets it done again in the third period. But, man, why does it take so long whenever we're that much downhill? I mean,
it felt like we should have been getting a goal every minute at that point.
It really did.
Their goalie was really out for them. He played well tonight. And also, I think they mentioned he had like a 7-1 streak against the Stars.
Reimer played outstanding tonight, and he does have a fantastic history of playing against the Stars.
Yeah,
he's been very good. They said 930 save percentage on top of that 7-1 record too. So he has our number, and he didn't do it fully because of the last 2 goals that he gave up, but there were way more scoring chances for the Stars than there were for the Sharks. Reimer definitely held him in. The Stars would go on to have a ton of pressure. The last 2 minutes of 6-on-5, it's a miracle the puck didn't go in. It really is a full-on miracle. The game would go on to end. Stars lose by 1 goal, 5-4. And my key takeaway from this game is that, well, first of all, we need to give props to James. You'll need to follow James on Twitter because he totally called it. He said this is the ultimate trap game. The Sharks are coming off of back-to-back. They're on a back-to-back game after losing the night before, after losing a lead to a bad team. The Blues are not playing very well. They've lost 3, so they're on a 5-game losing streak, but they've lost 3 of the last 5 in overtime. Not just overtime, the shootout. So they've been due for one for a while. And the Stars are coming back with 1 forward who's hurt, so we have a new forward in, and with a goalie who's coming back from injury. James totally called it. He felt like Stars are going to lose this one. And the Stars blow it. I mean, when it comes down to it, good teams don't lose twice, and good teams don't lose to bad teams. And the Stars did that tonight. I know the Sharks played they didn't play a good game, and they still won. Sure, give that. You have to find a way to win. You have to find a way to get points if you're going to be a good team. Losing back-to-back, and especially starting the way we did in the first period, this team was not ready to play in the first period. I mean, they weren't ready to go. And that's shocking. The only person who was ready was Jamie Benn. And he showed so much leadership in that first period. And that's why Jamie Benn is our captain. That's why he's the longest captain that we've had in our franchise, because he does stuff like this. Jamie Benn is the only reason we were close to end this game in the first period. And then we go ahead and blow it in the beginning of the second period anyway. I feel terrible for Jamie Benn. He did all he could. We should have won it for him, no doubt.
He really played his game today. He was trying to pump them up so much. And after that fight, I felt like we would have so much energy coming into the third the third.
Into the second.
Second? Yeah. And okay, whatever.
It might have been the third. I'll look.
But
we talking.
But then they just score another one in the first minute, and it just takes all of that momentum away.
No, you were right, Cooper. And yeah, either way, it's true. I mean, that momentum's just gone either way.
And then he's not in there afterwards because of the minutes he has to stay off for the fight.
Yeah, and in both situations, Jamie does it. The end of the first period,
yeah,
scores that goal, ties it up. We're right back in it. Let's take it to him in the second period. They score immediately. End of the second period is like, all right, fine. Dellinger gets hit. Stand up for him. 2 pops in the face.
2 punches, too.
2 pops to the face, gets him down.
That was fun to watch.
Huge fight, big momentum swing, give up a goal in the first minute of the third. You can't do that.
He was physical the whole time.
He was
getting big hits on every person he saw.
That's what turned it around in the second period. the Sharks were going downhill in the second period. Stars turned it around because Jamie Benn starts laying big hits. He has a great shift. Then the Stars are downhill again. So
also in the third, after our fourth goal, Hakanpää with the turnover again almost just gives them back that goal we just got.
Yeah,
almost made it 6-4 there.
And that's what I'm saying. Every defenseman on the team was not good tonight.
Every single time.
Yeah, every defenseman was bad, and I'm including Heiskanen in that. Heiskanen was not good tonight in the defensive side, and that can't happen if he's going to be our best player. He also comes up with a penalty tonight as well, which can't happen for Heiskanen. I mean, he has to be our best player on the ice, and he was not tonight.
Also, our entries into the offensive zone, a lot of times I heard Razor saying like they keep chipping it in, trying to pass it to each other, and our passes were just bad, and we needed to skate that in there.
Yeah,
because every time we would either dump or chip it in, and it would just go straight to them.
And the other thing that does is you're not using your advantage of being more rested. So the other team played a whole game last night. Your advantage is that you have your legs. You should outskate them and get around them. And they're not doing that. They're chipping it in and playing bad hockey. It was not good hockey for the majority of it. Even when they got going, it was not clean. So 2 straight games where the Stars, I would say, were not good enough overall. Not good enough. The bigger thing tonight is they weren't ready to play. They weren't ready to play in the first period. The first period was terrible. They weren't ready to go in the first minute of the second period. They got punched in the face. And they weren't ready to hold on to the lead in the first minute of the third. I mean, you got to get ready to go. That's the big theme here tonight for me. So wrapping this up, Cooper, who is your biggest winner for tonight?
Biggest winner is definitely Jamie Benn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna agree with you on that one. Talk about Jamie Benn a little bit, Cooper.
He's old, but he looks like he's like 20 something.
Yeah,
he looks like he's 22 or something like that.
The
he
past
crazy.
The past, I'd say 5 or 6 games, Jamie Benn has been one of our best players on the ice. He really has. He's been fantastic. He really needs to keep leaning on that wrist shot. It's going so well for him. He's standing up as a physical dominating force and a physical leading force. The entire game has been fantastic. And if we keep getting that from Jamie Benn, we should win a lot of games.
He's also getting like huge bursts of speed out of nowhere, like a shark.
Yeah, you can see a little bit,
which is ironic because we just lost to the Sharks.
Yes. All right, who's your biggest loser tonight, Cooper?
Biggest loser, Lundqvist. He turned one over for, I think, the second goal, which was he was trying to no-look pass out of the defensive zone.
Mm-hmm.
And he just missed like half the passes he tried to make. I noticed him way too much in the wrong way.
Definitely agree with that. I'll go ahead. And like I said, I'm including everybody in that. I saw every single player on the from our defense make a bad play, a bad turnover in our own zone that led directly to a scoring chance. So I'm throwing everybody in there. The other biggest loser I'm going to give is Oettinger. He did not have – I do not feel like he had the confidence that he normally has. He did not give us a save when we really needed it. You can say that one of the third period on the breakaway was okay. We did have a defenseman on the guy, though, so it was kind of a half shot too. We need Oettinger to be better than that. So I'll give the biggest loser to Oettinger. Do you have any?
And the whole game really just looked lazy.
It
looked like they didn't want to be there. Like they just woke up and they just got to school or something.
And there was times when they were pushing, and definitely it got exciting at the end. But first of all, you shouldn't be in that position, and they were not moving the puck like they normally do. They really weren't. So. Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts tonight, Cooper, before we wrap it up?
I think I've said everything I wanted to say.
All right. Well, the Stars start tonight, actually. Very busy part of their schedule. They're going back on the road, not tomorrow, but Sunday they'll be back in do you know where they're going, Cooper? Philadelphia. Philadelphia, 1 p.m. matinee on Sunday. And then after that, it'll be day off game, day off game, day off game, day off game for the rest of the month. And there's a back-to-back thrown in there somewhere. So 2 straight losses going into this little segment of the schedule could be very scary. Stars need to figure it out real quick. They really do. So we'll see y'all.
Oh, it's fine. The next team is half decent. They're 7-4. We'll beat them.
Saying we can only beat good teams? Maybe.
Yeah,
we'll
we
see.
can only beat good teams. That's how it goes.
Well, we'll see y'all on Sunday. Remember to use our promo code THPN on DraftKings. Everybody thank Cooper in the comments. Fantastic tonight. Way outseated my expectations. Real biggest winner is Cooper tonight. Fantastic job. Thank you so much, Cooper. I would have had to do this alone, so thank you for letting me have somebody to bounce stuff off of. Y'all remember to use promo code THPN. Check out our shop. We got bath mats. We got shower curtains. We're about to get shower caddies. Not really, but we have some cool merch. That's sarcasticremarkshop.com. Oh, Ryan's ruining the podcast. Goodness. But please check us out in all those places. We'll see y'all again Sunday. Catch you on the flip side, I guess. Have a good night, everybody.